Fratelli the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. Fratelli the Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast. The Italian Rugby podcast.
Song 4 minutes, Mike. I want to listen to this song, so I'm gonna just re-put it up because why not, right? So Phantom is gonna get so mad at us, but anyway, buongiorno, buonasera, welcome everyone in a new episode of Fratelli Rugby Podcast, the Italian Rugby Podcast. We should say that because why not? But I have also the songs, always ready.
Fancy. It's fancy, isn't it?
Okay, here we go.
Love it.
Welcome, Mike. I'm happy to see you. We chat a little bit yesterday, but we're gonna talk about this, the special guest, and everything later on. So we are here to be happy about the weekend, Mike.
Yes.
Is probably the thing. Even if last week we said, look, yes, EPCR challenge, okay, it's good. I mean, we care, but not that much. But then when you see results and performance like that, you're always happier to comment games, games of rugby, Italian games, Italian victories, and this is the case. So I think we should start with Lions versus Leoni. So we should go deep down in South Africa with this great comeback by Treviso, because there was a really nice comeback in the last minutes. Big, like the finishers really finished the job in this game. Did really well. The man on the posters for this game is, of course, Leo Marin, more than anybody, with a double. But tell me everything about the game from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, just as a general concept, we said, for those of you guys who missed last week, we wanted Benetton to pick their strongest team and start sort of developing some of the attacking play and maybe some of the coaching philosophies that they've only had 8 games, if you include sort of the pre-season and the mid season friendly with Zebre to try and sort of build. And we saw some of it click in the second half, and we saw sort of how dangerous that they could be. Again, obviously consistency, you can't, against, no disrespect to Lions, slightly sort of more, let's say, sort of championship level teams, the Toulouse, like the Leinsters, you can't have that sort of 20-minute switch off because the game will be over by the time that you're chasing it. I think Lions did well in certain parts, but it felt very sort of groundhoggy day for me because they were struggling on the final sort of quality, something that we typically see as Italian fans. It was almost reversed there. But yeah, it was as close to a game of two halves as it probably could come.
It kind of remind me a game. Actually, honestly, a game in Treviso between Benetton Treviso and the Lions 2-3 seasons ago, where Lions were doing their step by step, putting the points, and then in the last minutes they find a way to score many tries. So it was kind of like that. But as you said, do you think was more like the way the Lions went down was physical, was because the last 20 minutes the Benetton bench was stronger and they put more pressure, they found more way? Because we were commenting on the chat, but also on the Italian one, and I was saying we need some from football, we need to put that in the second half because wasn't happening, or we were so close to score. We were just mentioning Andy Uren knock on in the almost last minutes of the first half. So there were opportunities, but not taken that well. But of course, kick worked actually with Umaga in the first half. Albornoz did a magic, missing drop, scoring, kicking the drop goal, but not scoring the conversion. for example. So 1 point more, no matter what. But
Yeah.
it was a little bit of this. So you think was more because they were tired or stronger bench in the second half? So a change of gear for Treviso.
I'm giving full credit to Benetton in this game. I don't think Lions were tired. I just think all of the above. I thought the bench came on with a clear, concise plan how that they were going to impose their game. Nice. I think the people who started scrummaged well. They were like it was parity at the scrum for a long period of time. Took minutes out of their legs. And then, like you said, gaps started to open up sort of back end of the first half and weren't able to capitalize. Had Urine, kept hold of that, or Urine popped it to Marin, he was over as well. He could have had a hat trick. And then, it got to the stage where this is the problem, or the pros and the cons of having big, heavy, powerful forwards is if you don't slow the game down, they're having to run. And the game can be lost in the last sort of 20, 25 minutes quite easily. And I think that's what we saw. So I'm normally one that is more leveled, but I think we need to give credit to Benetton where it's due. I think it's more on them than it is on Lions, like losing the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Lions were the better team, and Kamal was solid because they found the space with the first try by Marin, scored by Marin. That is a classic set piece kind of attack from line out by Treviso. This time they found the pop by Faz on the ground. That was fantastic, and also the second try came with waves of attack, and they found many times offloads, all in the last minutes, Mike, because they didn't offload that much during the game. Let's say yes, there was the offload from the ground when Mendy passed the ball to Rhino Smith in the first half when they scored, but depending. That was the one occasion, but then in the last minutes, like probably in this sequence of phases that when Marine scored, probably 3-4, because Albornoz did it. Something else happened in the middle. Another time they try to avoid the rack to move the ball quick. So really well done.
Yeah, again, that's sort of like
there is
sorry,
the shape. The shape is still there. I mean, you see these three. They are
three
trying
lines.
to work with racks with two players, two forwards in the rack. If it's possible, they try to avoid to put in these racks the back, because usually it's the third one that goes there, because there is not a three-man spot with the three forwards. There is something interesting there. The attacking coach is bringing 3-2-2. Itzegor wide, then Aruzza went wide, but there is the shape working and differentiation, variation on that, which is great. And do not forget, we have now got used to the altitude. It's no longer a disadvantage for European teams. We have the Masai. So and so, Phantom, my dear, so and so. Like we know, we will get ready to fight in this game. So yeah, they went well. Weird that they went so down, no? If they're used to altitude more than them because they live there. But anyway, good. Your best player for this game, Mike.
Ooh.
Easy to say, Marin. There is somebody else there that you think did well.
I mean, I'm not going to say Zuliani. I think that's the standard we expect from Zuliani now. Like one of the best players on the pitch, comfortably week in, week out. That's his level, right? So Zuliani, yes, you probably deserve it, but I'm not going to say you. It's always you. Again, it's hard to look past like the forwards that came on the second half again. Trying to think. Rutsa, if he can pass Rutsa, if you listen to this, mate, pass two-handed, please. For the love of God, you make such good line breaks. Pass two-handed, please.
The man with the best hands, because he always catch these hands so good in the air. And then,
so good, but also like the line breaks for someone who like he makes some fantastic. He finds space really well. Three times in 3 games, twice with Italy in the summer. Pass two-handed, my friend. Anyway, past. Now that I've said that,
Man, you should
yeah,
start running like this and then going up and doing the pass from the top, like in the line out.
yeah,
Absolutely, pass
Albornoz,
Marine
yeah,
and Albornoz too.
Albornoz for me, mate. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say Mendy because Mendy is the guy that, for example, Conte Pomi mentioned like tell me a fast player. They said between all the players in the, and there are a lot of fast players. If you think about Argentina, he said Kiki
Yeah.
Mendy, which is fantastic. And I was expecting the kick Albornoz, but he said Santi Carreras. I was a little bit shocked from that, but for me, Mendy, because he always try to give an option more to keep the ball alive. Also, this basketball pass from the top when he goes almost out. I like the way he's involved, and he's one of those players that from seven probably is getting better and better in the last years between all the former seven players,
Yeah.
except
I thought,
Dupont, we know. But
I was going to say, speaking of nines, actually, that sort of transition squad, I thought Garbizino had a really good game.
good,
For
clean,
like
like clean
clean,
passes, clean
yes,
passes,
yes,
no
clean,
overthinking like
erratic,
what to do. Yes, yes. So
yeah,
much more consistent on that.
mature, calm, collective, not like trying to trying to do too much.
So a question about the winger in Treviso. Mendy line
Mhm.
are the best Treviso wingers right now.
I don't like that sentence. Like, yes, like they're the form players, but horses for courses, mate. Like, if you're up against Duhan van der Merwe, like you don't really want Mendy there. You might want someone else. Like, do you know what I mean? It depends who you're playing against, but yes, like they're the form wingers. Yeah.
Talking of the era of Treviso, we still need Tizzano. Tizzano scored 2 tries, playing 9, and man of the match. We are talking about Cristiano Tizzano, the brother of the Australian Wallaby, okay, of Carletto.
Shall
But
we call him Tizzanino or something like that now?
Junior Tits. Show the tits. I'm gonna make
But
that thing
it is
show tits. The tits. Oh, fantastic. Do something like that. And he scored 2 tries, good runs, good run. Probably Phantom would not appreciate his hairstyle because a classic Australian mullet, and now is Mogliano mullet, which is a little bit weird, but still. It's not
listen,
like
like
when he arrived. Wersham was the crazy one.
I love that player though. He's so good. Hey, but I was going to say for us, we're getting to a goodish spot with our nines, right? We've got, if everyone's fit, we've got some really good nines at top level for Italy. Now, obviously, it's important to start looking at who is playing consistently well
Exactly.
at the franchise level, and I think we probably need both sides, maybe one or two more scrum halves on both sides, right? For Benetton and Zebre. So yeah, looking forward to seeing where little Tizzano goes.
Little Tiziano. Who else was well? I think Gasperini came on really nicely, because we
Carrying
were
really
list
well.
of the hookers. No, who needs
Yeah.
another hooker more? We need always to have a good list of players. But Gasperini, not that close maybe to the national team, but he's getting closer to what they want from him in the franchise in Treviso.
What I really like, just because you brought him up, it looks like he's like modelling his game quite a lot on Bernasconi, who in the
Yes.
loose is very like good, and it looks like he's trying to offer that, which is really good. And obviously, he didn't deplete the scrums too much when he came on as well. He's adding in the scrum, so yeah, man, I think it's a great shout from you. He looks really good. Yeah, Spagnolo was an animal.
It's right, but we are mentioning honestly the bench because they were so strong the
Yeah,
way they came
yeah,
in, and
yeah.
it's so important for a team to have good finisher when needed. So well done. Now another game, Mike. It's another week. How you feel about next game for Treviso?
It depends if they can get this is such a cliche, but we're talking about consistency. Otto. Like, if they can get to the same sort of like mental fortitude, like, but I don't want to see a 20-minute break, like 20-minute shutdown. I can't see another 20-minute shutdown. If we see that, then yeah, I think they've got a lot of confidence going in, and they could do quite well.
It's gonna be an interesting game because Perpignan, he lost so many games, the whole games this season. If I'm correct,
I
they.
think 10 on the trot before this weekend, eh?
But also, like, they won against Ospreys really easily this week, Perpignan. So I'm wondering what kind of team they're gonna put in now, or they're gonna be all in. Because Esquesada used to say, like, you need the points before December for everything in the top 14. He said this while he was coaching in Stade Français, was you need the points early points, because then it's a mess. So I'm honestly don't know what kind of team they're gonna manage against Treviso. So Treviso is gonna be well armed, I think, against them.
Yeah, I mean, you should hope so, right? It's going to be interesting because, like you said, like, do they have much to lose? Do they?
Yeah, that's true.
For them, it's
But
just
play home, which is the other thing. Treviso playing home, so you want to play Albornoz maybe 10.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to play Albornoz whilst we can. Benetton on, and just before
Until we can,
speculate.
right?
What's that?
Until we can.
Until we can, yeah. Whilst the eating's good, or then
Let's
think
go, of
about
course,
tomorrow.
with speculation about this, because it's always there. Rugby, Rama, whatever. The market is always open, especially for the really good players of the Italian franchise. There's always somebody calling with more money usually. So we are just there looking sometimes. We are like the Balkans of the Balkans of soccer, Mike, of culture, right? Oh, let's get this kid from there. Maybe from other places, like Albornoz, but still.
Well, I see, the tough bit is I see Albornoz doing well in the top 14. Like, the style of play, like it fits. Yeah.
Can you believe if he go random, never came out, but Racing, so they're gonna play Albornoz Presciantelli.
Yeah, I mean, Prisciantelli seems to be struggling a little bit, doesn't he?
But also Racing went wild
In general,
the way the last couple of seasons so wild. But Mike, I'm worried about the way he came off the field, Zuliani. What do you think it happened? Because I didn't see any.
He was
I didn't
hobbling,
understand
wasn't he?
what happened, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I'm guessing like he probably did something trying to jackal. Like, I think that's probably a safe bet. Eh?
Clean up something. He tried to stretch himself to try to tackle at the end, and then he was down with cramps. So honestly, I don't know what happened. If it was shoulder, because the way he came out was pretty in pain.
Yeah. What did you think of him at 6?
What was a different combo this game, because you see how many times like Faso in Lamaro out, they did these changes. Seems to work, but of course that a player that needs to take more ball in hands wide as usual is Itzegor. He get in position, but then the ball doesn't arrive there sometimes. But you see him playing the right position of the field.
Yeah.
And the ball has to move in the right position of the field sometimes.
I agree.
Really more. Like, you see, I was screaming when he got that ball. There was a penalty advantage, and then they went back. But he was like, "There, I'm here. Give me this ball."
Yeah.
He runs, and then the whistle blow by the ref. It was a really good one there. But hey, all good for Treviso. So really good to start December in this way, really positive December, because it's gonna be key for everything, for everyone, from the Italians franchise in general. This December, more than any. Come on, I don't remember. Still, I don't remember the derbies, the URC games at the end of the year to be that important for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
very
is
good
this is.
position. Yes.
I was gonna say this is probably the first year where both teams are playing well, right? In 2020, Zebre were playing well, Benton were playing shit. Every other season,
Honestly, that close.
it seems closer this year, doesn't it, in terms of levels, in terms of standard? Although Benetton and the Venetian fans are probably going to disagree, and we'll see what happens. But I think this year the standard is a lot closer, and I don't think it's because Benetton are worse. I think Zebre are sort of slowly bridging that gap between Benetton and Benetton and Zebre. Like they're slowly bridging the gap, and there's not too much in it now. So let's see. I'm really excited about the derbies, man.
It's gonna be fun. Uh, Before moving to the next game, of course, we want to remind everyone that if you are a coach, you need a software to do all you need for your team. There is always Flowfield Sport, and even better if you can pay less because there is a code, Coach 8, 60% off. There is the Flow Clip Studio. Some videos will pop soon about this specific tool that we have, Map Creator. You can train simulator with the player. It's getting cold. Maybe it's gonna be snowing around. Maybe you don't have all the backs you want, or maybe all the forwards you want, but they can still play and learn playing the shape, the moves, how to refold, all of this, and then of course Map Creator, Map Library, and the live tactical mapping shown on a big screen. So go on this and check how important it is. Flowfieldsport.com. Let me know. Use this code, Coach8. Mike, before moving, we have to announce a special pod of the week. We have a special guest. We had a special guest yesterday, and it's been a pleasure to spoke to him, to have a chat, an half hour. Really smooth went.
After long last day.
I think we should put one clip, just to
Let's do it.
to give the intro about this. So I'm gonna just play the clip.
That's my ambition, is to play for Italy and hopefully go to the World Cup. And if I have this ability to play different roles, it's probably an advantage for me because I can play 13, fullback. Maybe if something is happening at wing, I can play at wing. I like to have this ability, so it's nice to see the coach here letting me try a bit of everything. So
Mike, it's really important to have different opportunity, and of course, Francois May said to us this because, come on, a lot of players are coming. So, guys, this Thursday, new podcast is gonna pop out. We're gonna let you know what time is gonna be out on YouTube and then on Spotify. Of course, we spoke with Francois May. Soyo Angoulême 15, let's say. He also played 12, 13. As you hear, he's trying to do playing different role position. He talked to us really honestly about also issues, what he preferred to play and everything. So it's going to be an interesting chat. And of course, it's going to be 20 minutes in English and 20 minutes in Italian, and then we mixed up everything because we want to mix a little bit and also hear the word Italian subtitles in this clip shown if you're listening on Spotify, of course. So
for those of you guys who haven't heard of May, for maybe some of the English fans that are listening or some of the Irish fans, under 20s, standout player in the team that beat England twice in that season. Very, very strong player, fantastic potential, and we're really, really excited and really happy that we managed to speak to him. I think the future's very bright for young Francois, so we're super excited to show you guys the pod this Thursday.
Sì, giovedì ragazzi, quindi anche in italiano, giovedì esce prima parte in inglese, seconda parte in italiano, bella chiacchierata, abbiamo parlato un po' di tutto e di più, abbiamo parlato anche di giocatori del passato, allenatori, abbiamo parlato di Zebre, di opportunità, abbiamo parlato del suo infortunio in corso, quindi speriamo che tutto vada bene e torna presto. Mike, the idea was to put this clip because he said if there is an issue with the wing, I can go wing. And this week, just jumping literally like the player, jumping into the game, we should talk about. Let's start with him, and then we go in the game with Malik Faisal. Nobody knows him probably before. At least I think none of those Montauban players know who is this guy. Maybe the French, nobody knows him. But Malik Faisal scored the first try is on his debut. I'm letting you start with this.
So just for reference, and this is like, prefacing everything, because Otto. I remember Otto like saying there's this under 18 kid who's special, and he spoke specifically about Faisal. So like since then, always been keeping a close eye. But man, like that kid has become such a well-rounded player already, and he's like 21, 22 years old. The fact that what he was doing in the air, dominant in the air, brave, which is really like important, trying to go with two hands before opting for the slap backs.
Bumping players, Mike. That surprised me. That bump.
Yeah, physically, yeah, and speed. He is genuinely a very, very exciting talent. And again, I spoke about Francois May a second ago, very high potential at under 20s. Faisal, and I think it's fair to say, probably not as good a team as May. Did some beautiful things. Lovely try against England, like stepping around the places, strong into contact, confident. And he showed all that this week. I'm really, really impressed by how that kid is getting on.
Man, it was crazy the way he put the right mass on. He looked really different, much more. Come on, it was
Broad.
slim. If you think, yes, he's starting to, and it has to work. I don't remember where he read 93 kilos on 1 meter 80 something. So good kilos for a wing there, and keeping that speed on. So fantastic.
It's also like he accelerates into the jump. Like most people have to plant their feet and jump. Like he seems to get, just floats up. His stand. I'd love to know what his vertical leap is. In fact, actually, maybe that's one for our friend Cece when we next speak to him, because like he just so effortless getting in the air.
Adam, ciao, holiday here today, so able to join for once. Great result for both teams. Capuozzo Electric talking about wingers, because this week was the wingers too. So we have there for Toulouse, and of course also Federico Mori scored a try. Talking about the Italians, and Zarantonello scored a try.
Against you guys.
He scored against us, but then we won.
Yeah. It's bittersweet for you, yeah?
No. You see how cryptic I was in my message. They scored big F word to Castro. Sorry, my friend. But no, it's not that. But
he who last, Otto. You had the last laugh, my friend.
The last. The one of the last of us, probably. Mike, Zebre game. Round result. Winning the first half, second half. Go.
Yeah, listen, like it was just intense, high intensity, lot sort of less handling errors that maybe we've seen. I love the dual playmaker. I thought that worked really well. Farias had a really good game. Full Score had a really good game. Like the players in the position where when things are going bad, Zebre lose, had a good game. And that's what I mean. Like we're talking 10, we're talking 9. if either of those two positions have a bad game, Zebre can't get on the front foot. They can't play a quick pace ball, get it out wide like they want to. They can't, they can't execute the way that they want to attack. But actually, both sets of halfbacks had a really good game, in my opinion. So
I was looking at the stats, Mike, of this game. I said, okay, they won and everything. What really surprised me about this game was the kick from end. We kicked so much with the Zebre, 31 kicks in this game. And the other one was the number of carries and passes done. But the passes was well, because they had, of course, less possession than Montauban and everything, but it was less than 100 passes in total in this, and 95 carries. So really low level of numbers, but really good defense. Because at the end, the first half, second half, there were so many times where they put the hands down, right? Yeah, to slow down, they got some penalties for, and that is positive. Another positive, they scored with a maul, which is not so right. Robert, probably you're right. In that game against France on the wing, talk about wingers too, Menoncello with the wing. I believe the last time he just scored. Todaro. Oh, bravo, Mike. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but it's not far off.
Come on, good. Come on, another wing.
Yeah, but listen, this is what we want, right? And I think now that we have it, we start. This is the thing, though, Otto. Now that we're starting to get like good prospects and start developing, now I feel like the Italian fans start getting anxiety about who needs to be picked. It's like now we're getting slowly to that point. It's like, oh no, we can't risk playing that player.
And to come back on the game, and some other wingers like Jesse that had a really good game. Touching their head on the wall, like, come on, what I have to do, right? You know what you have to do, but this was a really good game by both wingers.
Yes.
So I'm putting other players into the conversation because Jesse was really good. He found that space. Then he moved to a fullback in the last minutes of the game. There were some changes there, but a pretty good performance from him. But
looking back as well, I thought he was brilliant.
Looking Morisi with the highest percentage of victories with the Zebre ever. all positive results, but there was also a draw in it. And then let's go talk about this back row. He is one of the back row of Zebre this week is something that we called weeks and weeks ago. I want to see Ferrari, Odiase, Stabile together.
Yeah.
Stabile in Nazionale because it's so fast and everything, but I think also the runs of Odiase, not as a first receiver, but supporting and the hard work by Ferrari, the all three things together, they work really well against this Montauban. Now, let's see if they can repeat it against Montpellier, if they're going to play, or Benetton, or in the URC in general.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Odiase, obviously, I'm just going to leave it as a cliffhanger. Francois May had some very choice words to speak about Odiase in very positive manner. So listen on Thursday to him. But speaking specifically about his performance, how often have we said that we lack a gain-breaking player, like a player that can break the gain line, just find that little bit more, right? And traditionally, Negri for Benetton.
Or for Italy too.
And for Italy, yeah. But Odiase, he's adding something, an element, a change that they don't necessarily have. I know some people be like, oh, what about Licata? Fair enough, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Like his timing. That's the timing. That's what I was about to say. It's the timing of his run, which means that he's hitting the line at pace, whereas Licata's the kind of player that will tie up a couple of players and maybe make some hard yards like Negri, but Odiase manages to hit those lines at the right time. His timing's so good on his runs. Almost like a crash ball center. I'm very excited by that young player.
He can be the first receiver of line out. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
or just outside the 12, running 12. Okay, give me the ball. give me the-
Benel, like his the way he plays the game, like hits the line very hard, like at pace, timing's good on his runs, like similar sort of, obviously very. I'm comparing a player at the start of his career with a player seasoned, but
But anyway,
that's the sort of style.
give the idea about
Yeah.
about how it was.
Yeah.
Ball in hands, Odiase had 7 runs, just to say a couple of stuff. 7 runs, and let me see the tackles just to check with you, Adam, because you said 23 tackles, fantastic on that. And then come on, tackle completed.
Adam, just to your point about Faisal, whilst you're talking about was Otto's looking at that, where you're saying about his the way he jumps, yeah, effortless. I think the only other player that I would love to see him, on the opposite team would be Trulla if he was fit, because he's another one that gets up quite well. So yeah, I'm exciting player.
Nothing, Mike. I will check and everything. We're gonna compare before the next.
Adam, we'll add it in the comments of this on YouTube. We'll just comment. So just have a quick look at that.
Oh, 26 rugby pass. Give me 26.
26 completed tackles.
Yes, and 22 Ferrari, 18 Ribaldi.
Quiet game.
I see. A busy guy.
Yeah.
The good stuff. 7 carries Stabile, 7 carries Ferrari. All of them together.
Ferrari had a really good game. Yeah, we need to talk about him as well in a sec, actually. Ferrari was brilliant.
Ferrari with the fake chicken leg.
Yeah.
Fantastic, because 2 players went there. So Ferrari, an eyed lock that he worked like a lock, Mike.
Yeah. Best performance outside of the under-20s, I think, last weekend. I can't think of a better performance since the under-20s. It was brilliant.
Let me see what else. Mammoth effort for Odiase still is fantastic. Mammoth effort. The Mammoth. And also, this is something because he worked hard also when he get the ball on. With Odiase, there were some situation with the double tackle, because this is something that worked well. They were easy double tackling players, but then also quick to get in line, which is probably the key of this defense of the Zebre. Yes, they are giving meters away, but much better than 2 years ago. They don't die into contact in defense, which is great. But this is also a good point by Phantom about the way he's defending. We need those kind of players. We have other locks coming up. I want to see when the Bucks start again, because we have to keep following Opoku Gianfi and his development. And maybe let's see if he's going to play at least some Premiership Cup. If there is
Hopefully.
games, because he didn't play the other games with Bath. So let's see if that is happening. But what
Nocera had a good game as well, quickly, just on that as well. I thought
Nocera was one of the good carries during when Faisal scored the try. There were a good couple of one after the other. Odiase won, and then Nocera there. So there was another one too. But good to say that they worked as they should work, Mike, and they were okay at the end of the game, because with Nocera we start having that kind of Nikolai syndrome, no? Sometimes on the ground, like you cannot finish full game, but you have something to get off for an injury, something, a knock, whatever. So that was good by Nocera. To be honest, also Ripaldi was good, Mike, which is not always the first that keep him that I have in mind if I have to talk about Italian hookers. But he scores also try through Moll, which is always great to see.
Yeah, he was good in scrum as well, like set piece. He was just good.
Mike, I was wondering what you think about the dualism of Farias, Dare 10-15.
Yeah, I mean, It's interesting, isn't it? Because like you can always point to one or two negatives in the game, but if we're talking holistically over the course of the game, I quite like a dual playmaker, and I think actually, if you think of when Zebre played their best, they always had a 10 and they had Fratelli as well, like as a dual playmaker. I think that's the natural progression. The thing that the reason that we're advocating Pani so much is because of what he has in terms of that equalizer, that boot, right? That's something that we just don't have. It looks like he kicks at altitude, not in altitude. Like, so he's just someone who's like that. That's why maybe a more traditional Anglo fullback. Barney's more of that mold, but I quite like the whole sort of 10, 15 dual playmaker, get it out wide, give another option, second, third receiver, make two like waves of attack immediately off set piece. Like, I love it.
Let's see, because I'm okay with that idea. Also, I want to see how much they can handle it together, because it's important to see under different pressure how they're gonna manage this defensively and when they have to attack. So I want to see. I'm gonna rewatch the game between today and tomorrow, because I want to see how they work, because I want to arrive with the right idea about how they can work. Do you think it's gonna be space for Montemario next weekend against Montpellier?
I mean, I hope so. I'd like to see him get game time. Not sure what's going on with him, but yeah, like when I saw him live, and I think it might have been the last time he played, was Ospreys his last game he played, where he played at fullback.
I can tell you in a second.
I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Obviously, I know it was poor Zebre, but like Ospreys had a good game. I still thought he was the best player on the pitch.
He played here and against Stormers the week after,
Right.
but then he
not
didn't play since the 18th of October.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, listen, like we rotation's the game, right? And contrary to popular belief, I think Zebre did trial a little bit. That wasn't what we would perceive as an out and out first team. Brunello did want to learn something out of that game, and I think he probably did. Whether he's going to go full strength on the next game or not, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of players are going to want to have that opportunity, because the Champions Cup, the Challenge Cup, is always like a window shop for our players in Europe.
Sure.
So maybe those who want to progress from Zebre eventually, it's a good opportunity for them to show their skills to Europe.
Totally agree with you, Mike. It's so important, and hopefully they will keep knocking at the door to get these people more a good contract and a good experience abroad. Always.
Yeah, agree.
Sorry, Josh, if you hear about this for the Zebre players more than everything, because I know you're gonna listen to it later. But hey, if they can go, maybe they will come back in a few years. It's gonna be interesting. But talking about Fischietti did it, Odiase did it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Odiase did it. And we always, guys, there is the panel going on. Kakolo, you are late, but Thursday there is a new podcast out. We recorded yesterday with Francois Carlo May, the Italian utility back of Soyo Angoulême. So Thursday, 11th December is going to be out. But talking about players that they went abroad and they are back, Mike, let's talk about the big speculation before wrapping up. Because
what hook?
This speculation is, yes, they call me captain. Talking about captains, see, double hook. The hook and the captain. Paris Saint-Azzurri stuff. Rugby Rama mentioned there is an approach. We talked about this a few days ago, because we were saying how important it is to give Quesada another shot. So Quesada 2031. Okay, this was the idea. And from there we said probably after maybe one player a former player will join the team, which is maybe Paris in the lineout, defense, maul, captaincy, soft skills, if we can call it soft skills. But now Rugby Rama said that they look so close the position probably before the 2027. So he will probably join, I guess, next year. I guess during the Nation Series, throwing scenarios there.
I had an opportunity to think about this, by the way.
Oh,
And I think I'm going to come up with something that no one else has come up with.
please.
Maybe he is joining, but maybe it's not for the national team yet.
Oh, bella, mi è piaciuta questa. I like this idea. So you think a player like him, he will be that eager to move to the under 20s?
Not under 20s. I think
no, under
Italy
20.
A.
Italy.
Italy as an assistant, like Skivs did, like what's his name?
Yes, Skivington did it.
And also the guy that's just now the England attacking coach, the old Wasps head coach. What's his name?
Lee Blackett.
Yes. So he went at 15, and then he went into the England attack as an attacking coach.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, so Italy.
Who's going to coach him otherwise? That's the thing. Like, and again, listen, all speculation, but no one said this. I put up a post earlier. No one said that. I was like, wait a second, like who is
you're
going to
there, double work? Work with them, work with everybody. Why not? Let's use the resources. If we pay those resources, let's.
Yeah, who's paying for this? I don't know. I think we're going to find out.
And maybe there's a big sponsor, but of course, there's always been a good. I don't want to say friendship because I don't think it's a friendship.
Like professional.
How you
relationship? Sorry,
relationship. Yes,
yeah.
Between Duodo and Paris. We were there last year in Genova, and they were so happy behind us, walking under the curva of the Genoa to go to the media press. Paris was there after years that Paris was back for the Italian game. He gave the caps to the players, if I'm right, and also he did a famous video to pushing Duodo before the election, which was huge because I don't remember him to be that exposed before. So there is good work, but there is also the factor Q. The Q, like the booming book, but Quesada. The Q is Quesada because they play together. Not play together, but he was his former captain, Quesada. Paris for Quesada, so they knew each other so well. He was the former coach, so there is this relationship. Probably there is more a friendship.
Yeah.
Okay, because they know each other for good. But you think it's gonna be? Look, this thing about Italy 15, I like it. I like it a lot.
I just think like it's a stepping stone, right? And if people have an issue with him joining straight away, chances are Italy 15, the players are probably going to be in and around camp anyway, right? Then they're not going to be a million miles away. They're playing, in Rome, but they're also then playing in D'Aquila, aren't they? Just down the road, right? So we're not talking like. Sorry.
1 hour and a half from Rome.
So they're probably going to be training and playing together, and that way they have the excuse of having another coach in a bigger pool of team where they can do more and train like in a different way maybe. And I think there's a space for Paris. I just don't think it needs to be rushed as a really senior position. I think like you said, line out, breakdown, mentality. There's space for that, but as Ian Mc has just mentioned, Mazzi is also a player that's been floated around. So he's someone that personally, I'm very excited about. He was, the academy manager at Wasps. He went into Wasps as the attack coach, showed what he can do, goes to Benetton, changes the way that they attack after Benetton had stagnated massively and they play really well. Go to Toulon. Toulon start progressing after a period of regression. Like he proves that he can turn things around. Thoughts on that, Otto?
The more you say, the more I agree with you. But on the other side, I don't want to rush the situation because you were saying, okay, Rieti, but Rieti is gonna be now February, and Toulon is gonna free him from his contract now.
That's true. That's a good point as well. Yeah, that is a good point. Unless they're planning on doing more with the 15. Let's see.
I don't remember, for example, if the top 14 is as a stand down week, rest week. I don't think so, but maybe that can be the issue. And but for me, no matter what, Masi, I would like to see Masi more than Paris, to be honest, because the lineout works well for me, and they are fixing it well. I don't see that crisis like, oh my god, we need somebody because we throw shit every time. Oh, we don't know how to manage to defend or to make a maul. No, we can do it, okay? But for me, the main focus on everything is Quesada 2031. That's
Yes.
for me, it's much more important than everything because
Agreed.
we should stop changing every 4 years a coach. We should think on a long term, long development of coaches, not only for players. So coaches, they are following him, they are growing with him. It's important. Hodges is in his first role with the national team, correct? He's doing well. An experienced guy, you already have it there with Fernandez. Moretti is doing well.
I think we, like you said before it needs to be a discussion. We should extend that, like as in
lock Quesada and then do whatever
now.
the fuck you want.
Yeah. I agree. 100% agree. 100% agree.
If they tell me, okay, it's the summer 2026, I would like, honestly, I would like at the end of the Six Nations, no matter what, Duodo to say, we're going to renew the contract, and then announce a week after on the same thing, Paris from 1st of January 2027.
It's more palatable, isn't it? Like it is. I agree. There's a couple of really interesting comments actually. So first of all, Quesada said he wants a big staff. Send me that afterwards because I haven't seen that. It's a good idea, right? But I haven't seen that.
But who's gonna pay these too? Because we are in spending review time. We don't have money for anything. Quesada, it's a lot of money because that was also something said before during the election. Because Quesada is being called by somebody else, innocent.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if they do financial projections, but I would say next year, because we don't play a tier 2 nation, which we normally like, we don't really get as much interest from the public. We're probably revenue. I'd be surprised if it's like at any less than it is this year. I think obviously it's going to be a lot higher next year. So maybe they're doing some projections and saying, okay, maybe we can allocate a bit more revenue towards staff ahead of 2027, because obviously next year's the formative year. Next year we need to make sure that we're forming the team, the depth, the way we want to play, all of that stuff, make sure that is right. Now is the time. And actually, you know what, I quite like that. I'd much rather they invest in that than pay an external consultant like they had been with Kieran and, you know, the couple of consultants that he brought in from New Zealand, right? Albeit they were very good and like the players said that they were amazing consultants. I'd much rather it be not a short-term thing like that, but you know, a year, 2 years, and it's probably going to cost the same amount of money because consultants are normally a little bit more expensive, right?
Mike, this by Robert, because this I have no idea. We should check with some.
I do know, but I can't talk. Yeah, I do know, but we'll talk offline on that.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this, but bring the other rugby finance chat over here. we need, right, to talk about
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we'll move. we'll move quickly on that.
Yeah,
but Quesada 2031. Let's get the Trump hats ready. Make Quesada Italian coach again. Let's go for it.
Let me make. I'm gonna just do it here. GQ 2031. I like this. This. Okay, we're gonna put it here. GQ. Got my ticket for Italy-Scotland earlier. Nice. Italy-Scotland. Tickets have gone up again this year. The stadium was mostly already sold out. So, Adam, you're going to be in Rome, correct? And let's meet
gonna be there.
somewhere in Rome. We're going to be there.
Yeah.
Come on, Adam. It's a good opportunity to meet and have a couple of beers together before the game or after the game, depending. But good to know. Anyway, Mike, let's see how, because yesterday was Rugby Rama. Today also on Rugby reposted in Italian. So there is some speculation going, some talks maybe going, some word heard by somebody more than others. So, yes, we want fire. That's why we want the heretic phantom.
Just literally everything on everything on fire. Some people just want to watch the world burn, Phantom, eh? One last thing. Kakolo said, Mazi, I'd like him at Benetton. I don't see that happening, because obviously they've spent a lot on the coaching staff.
And also,
do you think Mazi would be interested in coming back to Italy? Not for the national team, for one of the franchises? Do you think? Do you ever think? What do you think? Honestly, no. Yeah, I was going to say he must think that's a step back, eh?
Because he did his part in Italy. It's Paris that had never been in Italy coaching. That is a big difference between the two of them. So probably it's that, but let's see. Mike, a lot to say also this Monday night, this Monday December. Guys, giovedì, Thursday, we're going to post on YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell, so you're gonna have a nice notification. Fratelli di Rugby just post a new video, and it's gonna be with Franz Ramey. We recorded yesterday, so please subscribe and everything. Good words about Odiase, about coaching, difference, transition, principle of transition in attack,
Brunello,
better backs, Brunello, the injury. We know a lot of stuff, but everything is going to be out Thursday, December 11th on Fratelli di Rugby Tube. Ok? So, Mike, grazie mille. Grazie assai per la chiacchiera. Thank you for the chat. Thank
pleasure.
you, Adam, Claudio, Phantom, Robert, Caccolo, Ian e compagnia, and company everybody else. Do you like this podcast? Just click on the thumb up. It always helps. Ciao a tutti. Have a nice week. And don't forget to subscribe to Fratelli di Rugby podcast. Ciao a tutti.